All right, what's up, good people? Sports Dad is in the building. I'm gonna talk a little bit louder because we're in a restaurant here, so make sure you guys hear me. But it doesn't get any better than this. I got my man, Coach Ken Kareem is in the building. This guy has helped a lot of kids get into college, and he's gonna talk a little bit about his son as well. But before we get into that, just got to put a little disclaimer out there that that this information, the content that we're going to be covering, is going to be posted on my YouTube page, and you are aware of that, right, Coach?
Yeah, I'm cool with that, man.
All right. So, Coach, tell us a little bit about your son. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then talk a little bit about your son.
First of all, I got to follow that introduction that you just gave me. Well, I coached high school. I coached high school ball. I coached in the city and the suburbs. I was the junior varsity head coach at West Bloomfield High School. Helped out on the varsity level. I also coached at Detroit Central for a while with some guys I grew up with and went to school with. But as far as that, man, I've just always been into sports. I've actually coached basketball, AAU. I've traveled with young kids. So a lot of people know me for football. I actually coach basketball as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I coached basketball for a while. I probably coach more basketball games just because of how long a season is than I probably football games, to be honest. Because I remember a couple years being with Judges Court, Antoine Jobert, man, we was coaching probably over 100 games a season, between the different leagues that we were in. But, that's a little bit about me as far as coaching. As far as recruiting, I have helped a number of kids, but more importantly, I'm going to be honest with you, it's easy to say I've helped a number of kids, but what I try to do, if nothing else, man, is I try to help parents. Because I'm a coach and I'm also a dad, probably a dad first when I'm saying this.
Right.
So I'm a father and then a coach. The reason why I made sure I emphasize that is because I have a son, obviously, as you know, that played, that was recruited, that's actually playing now for the University of Notre Dame, the starting defensive end for Notre Dame. He's actually the player of the game when we played Michigan.
What's his name?
Khalid Kareem.
Yeah.
But what I went through with him had nothing to do with me being a coach.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I wanted to make sure I emphasize that, man. I would tell any parent, and that's probably more important than you telling when you're saying I help kids. Yes, I have helped a number of kids, and I can drop a bunch of names of guys that's even playing in the league right now, but a bunch of guys in college. But more importantly, I help the parents. So it's a number of parents, from single moms to dads that just don't know, that's maybe removed. Dads that play, dads that just don't know enough about the game, don't know enough about recruiting, don't know enough about the next step. What do I do now?
Right.
And those are the guys that I help more than anything. And it's not that I have some type of service or, call me, I'll help you. It's just been by default. Guys seen us going through it.
Right.
And maybe just reached out or referred somebody to me. Hey, I got a guy on the phone, Ken, can you tell him what to do with his son? Do you have a few minutes for me? And I've always been willing to share knowledge because I got a lot of knowledge from just following people, asking questions, trying to figure out what was the next step.
Right. Because it can be, because the recruiting process can be pretty daunting, man. Especially, from a parent and from a player, especially if you haven't been through it before, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. It can be very daunting. I didn't go through it. I didn't play I didn't play ball like my son.
Right.
He's obviously a lot bigger than me, so he was recruited by probably every school in the country. You'll see on different sites, they'll say, oh, he had this many offers or that many offers. He ended up turning down some offers because he wouldn't go on that visit. So the offer list is way shorter than the actual schools that was recruiting him.
Right.
And the reason why I emphasize that is we got out there, put our name out there, did the things that we needed to do so that people would know who he was, so people would recruit him, so people would not only recruit him, but start recruiting this area. So some of the coaches that I was talking to didn't know who Chippewa Valley was, didn't know who West Bloomfield High School was. They didn't know where some of these schools, like, who is that? They knew a couple schools, like they knew King and Cass and Harrison, when it came to County, they knew Harrison High School. You know, they knew, you know, the schools that was kind of, I don't know, nationally known, I guess the best way I can put it.
Right.
So you got a kid at Chippewa, a kid at Farmington High School that's also in Farmington Hills. Some of these coaches did not know them. A lot of them did, but a lot of them didn't.
Right.
So what I made an emphasis is when a coach would come, because I have relationships with so many kids,
Right.
I would say, hey, I know you're coming to see Khalid, but you also need to go over there and see this kid. He's right down the street.
Oh, wow.
That kid, he goes to Farmington, or he goes to North, or, you know, and a lot of us collaborated like that, guys that was getting recruited. Dave Reese, for example, I'm talking about the father, son
Right.
plays for Florida.
Right.
But the father, he was also, I learned a lot from him, and we actually fed off each other. So if a coach was coming to town, we would
Right.
call each other, hey, you know, such and such is coming to Harrison today. You might want to reach out to that coach
Oh, wow.
and see if they'll come down to Farmington, you know. And we
Wow.
would do that all the time.
Wow.
And when the coach was in town, we would also say, hey, did you go see those twins over at Chippewa? Or did you go see those, you know, who and they were at, who is it? You know, write down names. So you feed and help each other, and you open up the recruiting for the state of Michigan. And if you look now, I think the recruiting in the state of Michigan is probably bigger than it ever was.
Wow.
In my opinion.
Yep,
You may
yep.
have some guys that got different opinions or act like they did this or they did that, and I'm not taking all the credit because there was a lot of guys before us.
Right.
And what we did was we learned from the guys that was before us.
Okay.
You know, we saw what those guys was doing, and we took some of that, added it to our recipe, you know, and then took it a step further, and we just hope that some guys will take what we did and add to it and take it even further.
Right, right. Wow, man. So you guys were basically just looking out for each other, you know, because you realize, you know how daunting the process can be and how hard it can be. So, but it sounds like you were just looking out for people, man.
I mean, that's the name of the game. Like, at some point, Khalid had 30, 40 offers or whatever. You know, that to me, that's almost too many, but that's enough. Like, you know what schools
Right.
you want to go to at this point.
Right.
Now it's time to help another kid.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I'll give you a perfect example. When Iowa offered my son, they was also looking at another kid at Harrison. And when they were talking to me on the phone, we were at home. They were talking to me on the phone, they were also asking me about that kid.
Oh, wow.
So I'm telling them about that. Oh yeah, this kid is amazing. You know, I've seen him play. I know his family. So
Right.
we all helped each other. That was kind of the name of the game. And as I was going through it, I also did something intentionally. It was initially it started as for our family, for my grandma, and my mom, and cousins and friends. I would put it out there. I would put it on Facebook. I would put it on Twitter. My son was just offered by Louisville, you know, my son. So they got a chance, because I had one of my cousins actually say to me, keep doing that. You're giving us an insight on things that we probably wouldn't have seen. So I started doing that. So we would put some of our visits on Twitter, on Facebook, and some of the things we were going through. You know, just got off the phone, and some people may have taken it as you're bragging, and that's absolutely far from what we were doing.
Right.
We were educating people, because what I was doing was I was telling my son to follow people on Twitter, on Facebook, on whatever sites they're on, Instagram, the guys that's doing it.
Right.
Follow their lead.
Right.
So we would see a guy, I think Des Fitzpatrick from Louisville was one of the first guys out of that 16 class out of the state of Michigan to be offered, I believe. And so what we would do is we would follow his lead. Coach Fitz and I are real tight even to this day. We would follow his lead. We would see what he's doing. You know, what is Fitz doing? Like, how is he going on all these visits? How's these schools? How do they even know who he is?
Right.
And we would take that and run with it. Like, this is what he's doing. He's friending them on Facebook. He's calling right to the schools.
Yep.
And that's what I would tell any parent. Don't wait for a coach. And that's why in the beginning of this video, I made sure that I distinguished being a father first, because when I was calling schools, I was calling them as a father. And what that did also was cause me to run into some walls. Because some schools said, well, we can't talk to recruits, we can't talk to recruits' parents.
Right.
So I would run into walls because they couldn't return my call. So what I would do is just keep calling. So what we ended up doing, my son and I, we took Sundays and Tuesdays, as he was in the junior year in high school, we took Sundays and Tuesday nights and used them as our recruiting days. And what do I mean by that? We had a man cave, so we would go in the basement of my house, and we would literally, about 6 or 7 o'clock, when he was out of school, done with practice, when I was done with work, and we would go in the basement and we would call schools, email schools. Obviously, a lot of schools were closed, but we would email them.
Right.
Call, leave voicemails, send out film, send out transcripts. We would go through on the internet and literally look at a conference. So for example, we'll look at the MAC conference. So MAC, I think have 13, 14 schools, whatever it is. And we would go to each one of those schools and find out who the person is, who's the recruiting director, who's who's your position coach. So recruiting director might be, Joe Blow, your defensive line coach might be this guy. So we would grab both of those guys, emails, and we would just literally just email them film, email them transcripts, email them personal emails. I know you can't call me back, I know you can't respond, I'll try you back tomorrow. We'll set an expectation that we're gonna call them on this day, we'll call them on that day. And what ended up happening one day, Ohio State called me. I don't know if he was supposed to now or whatever. He knew I was a coach, so I can't say he wasn't supposed to.
Right.
Because I was coaching at West Bloomfield, so it was safe for him to. And he started asking me about something. I guess they saw something in the film, and he was asking me about him. And in fact, when he called me, he actually said coach. So he knew I was a coach, and that's the reason why he called me. A regular parent, they can't call me.
Right.
So he knew I was coaching at West Bloomfield, and he called me. And he started asking me about my son. So we took that and ran with it. Those communications from him, and then we just started trying to reach out and communicate to other schools. But I did this all from a parent perspective. Being a coach, it'd give me a little insight, a little boost maybe, but not really, because everything we did was parents, as a parent. Went on a lot of visits. We would literally call schools and say, hey, can we come visit? And sometimes we went to schools and they did not even talk to us. Like they would say, hey, Khalid, hey, Mr. Kareem, thanks for coming, man. I'm glad. Hey, make sure you guys enjoy the game. And we took that and learned from it because we would see the big names guys there. So we would be on a recruiting visit and maybe Malik McDowell was there. Maybe, I'm talking about guys out of Michigan that was big names. Maybe Chris Marshall was in the building. Maybe Mike Weber was there. So guys that they really was going after, who was a little bit older than my son anyway, they were there. So those were the guys that were focused on. So my whole goal was to say, how can we get you to be one of those guys? How can we get, so when Khalid Kareem is in the building, he's the one that they're focusing on. Like, what do we need to do? So what we did was start watching those guys. What are they doing? What are the guys who are the big names? What are they doing to separate themselves? So one of the things Khalid did that we talk about a lot is grades. He ended up graduating. Some of his we looked at his transcripts. Some of his transcripts literally was 4.0.
Wow.
He ended up graduating with a 3.8.
Wow.
And that was huge because now you separate yourself just with grades alone. We had schools coming to talk to players, and then when they talk to coach or they talk to the counselor, say, hey, let me see your grades. And it would just close the book.
Right.
And I remember specifically I was talking to Coach Louisville about another kid. And he ended up getting his transcripts from the kid. It was like, oh, dude, that dude has like a 1.0. I'm not even talking to him.
Wow.
So that kind of stuff. So grades, doing anything you can do to separate yourself, sending out film, being annoying in a sense, just shooting your film out. Like, so every Sunday and Tuesday, we would send the film. And sometimes it's the same exact email to the same exact coaches. So I remember at one point, I think we had like 70-something coaches or email threads that we would go through on Sunday and Tuesday, or we would do half and half. That's what we would do, to kind of separate us up and put your name out there.
Wow, man. So, like, that's a lot of good information. I mean, you hit on a key factor, which is the grades.
Grades is huge, man.
Yeah.
And it separates you from other players. Because a lot of people don't know this, but there's a lot of players on college rosters right now that's academic probation.
Oh, wow.
Because maybe they shouldn't have went to this big school. They can ball.
Right.
They can ball, but maybe they're not academically strong enough to go to a Michigan or go to a Notre Dame or go to a Northwestern. Maybe Northwestern said, wow, we like them and they got a decent score.
Right.
Let's take them.
Right.
But not understanding that when you get to college, especially those type of schools, the academic requirements are very hard. You know, it's strenuous, and then you gotta practice, do schoolwork. You know, everybody want to be a big time player, go to big time school until you get there.
Right.
So I tell kids all the time, when I see a transcript, you're 2.0, you don't need to be at this big school. Maybe you need to look at this school.
Right. Right.
Maybe you need, I know you're 6'5", but you don't go up there and struggle because you're not into school, and this is not basketball. You can't do 1 an hour. You have to stay at least 3 years.
Wow.
You know, and so in football, you have to stay at least 3 years, so you're going to have to do some work if you want to play. You know, this is not basketball. You're going to win 1 an hour.
Right.
You know, you literally have to stay 3 years after your high school graduation. So I always hit on grades. That's one of the things I focus on, not only with my kids, but all the kids I coach. Like, we ask for transcripts. You know, we ask for report cards. You know, we looked at everybody's report card when they came out. We would literally go in the academic office and say, hey, let me see what this guy's doing.
Wow. Wow.
And I had a police officer on my staff that I hired. And his job, primarily, not only because he was a coach, but also because he was a police officer and wanted to see guys do well, he would go into classes sometimes. Make sure guys were in the class. You know, he had relationships with those teachers, and he would dip in and then, you know, kind of come back and report or get on their head if they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. So it's a lot to it.
Yeah.
You know, I know this was a quick video you wanted to do, but you know, it's so much entail, but a parent can do it. I wouldn't pay anybody to do it, like to do my kids' recruiting.
Because it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that that's out there right now, man.
It's a lot of that out there, and to be honest, if you just like I was mentioning before, a mom or a dad that's just so far removed, maybe you want to. But in my opinion, because of the internet, because of Twitter, because of Instagram and Facebook, you know, you have access to people that you normally wouldn't have access to. You know what I mean? So to me, you can get on Twitter, put your film out there, inbox a coach, have them look at it, and it's gonna have to be consistent. So it's not like I sent it to him, he didn't respond. Send it to him again. Like from the time we started my son recruiting to the time he actually got an offer, I want to say almost 2 years. Like we started his recruiting going into the 10th grade, which would have been like August of 14. And I don't think he got his first offer to October of 15. Like, so over a year of consistently bringing your grades up, sending your grades to schools.
Right.
Because you gotta remember, these guys are human. You know, these guys, a lot of them were just like me, was high school coaches.
Right.
They got a shot to coaching, so they got kids. They know what it means to have grades.
Right.
If I'm a college coach, especially in this day and age, I'm looking at a kid's transcript. Not only am I looking at his film, not only am I looking at his measurables, but I'm also looking at his transcripts to see if he's going to be a good, what they like to call exactly what they are, student athlete.
Wow. So last question. Any last minute words, like, or advice, words of encouragement you can give to parents or players that you want to?
I mean, we touched on a lot of things.
Yeah, we did.
I would really leave out there. There's a couple things, man. If I'm a parent and I'm going through it now, and again, I do help parents and kids right now. You know, when they ask, I don't charge anything. Like if a guy called me and asked me, "Hey, Ken, I'm trying to get my kid recruited," I'll give them the recipe that we used. Will it work for everybody? No, everybody's not 6'4", 270 pounds like Khalid. I mean, I get it. He was an easy sell, right? And he had a 4.0.
Right.
But what I would do is take your kid and say, since he's not 6'4", 270, be real with yourself. You know, can my kid play at Michigan? Can my kid play at Notre Dame? Or whatever city you live in, because everybody has that big school. If you're in Tennessee, Volunteers. If you're in Pennsylvania, Penn State, Pitt. Or whatever, Northwestern. Is my kid really that kid? Don't look at the roster and say, oh well, they got a safety that's 5'8". I know my son's 5'8". Don't look at that, because that kid might be amazing at something else that stood out. He may have grades, he may have, he may run a 4 flat, whatever the case is. So it's hard to compare yourself. Be your own competition. Like, be the best you can be. Grades. performing hard on and off the field. And that's to players and to parents, I would say, learn as much as you can about this recruiting, and try to do as much as you can yourself before you pay somebody. Now, am I knocking anybody hustle who is charging, who is wanting to be paid for their services? No, because there's a lot of great services out there that can help you, and it is tedious work. So if you do need to hire somebody, make sure you hire somebody that's reputable, somebody who coaches somebody who knows some coaches. Because I see people getting paid to do it, and they be calling me, hey, you got a contact over at such.
Wow.
Like, dude, you getting paid to do it, you should have all the contacts, maybe slip me something. But anyway,
wow.
If I'm a parent, I try to learn as much as I can about recruiting. It's not easy. It's going to take time. You can't, half-ass, excuse my language. You really, if you want your kid to play on the next level, and I will say this, there's somewhere for every kid. It might not be where you went to school, it might not play the position you played, and it might not go to where, you wanted them to go. But there's a place for them. Just be realistic with yourself, be realistic with your kid, because everybody wants their kid to go to that big school in their state. I had opportunity to visit so many schools, but I can't even name them all. Like, I've been to them, and every one of those schools, my grandfather went here. This is the best school in the country. This was the first school who, this school is in the center of this, or this school. Everybody got that thing. Michigan is this, or Ohio State is that. Everybody got that name, and all of those are great institutions, but they're not for everybody. But on the flip side, if it is for your kid, don't limit yourself. If your kid good enough, or you and you're being real with yourself, and he's real with you, and maybe coaches are talking about it, he's able to play at Ohio State or Michigan or Alabama or any of these big schools, then go after it. Go down there and visit. Go check it out. Go see it for yourself. Look at your grades. Look at your competition. There's so many things, man. There's probably a lot of things I'm missing. There's probably some people that'll dispute some of the things I say, and that's okay. I'm just telling you some of the things we went through, some of the things I still go through to this day. Even since we've been here, I've been texting the Big Ten coach about a kid just since we've been here. I won't say the name of the kid, but I literally been texting the Big Ten coach as I was pulling up here about a kid.
That's one thing I like about you, kid. When I first met you, dude, you was telling me like, yeah, man, my son played Notre Dame, and you was like, dude, I talked to every college coach, man. I got this number, I got this guy number. And he wasn't lying either.
Yeah, I wasn't bragging about it,
He got the cell phone now, y'all.
I can show. I won't show it on film. But that's you coach.
Oh wow!
So
yeah.
He just texted me. I don't know if you heard my phone earlier in your video, but actually at 12:43, the coach just texted me.
Yes, sir.
And I was at a Big Ten school, but that's not to brag, but that's just to tell you that it's not hard. But he texted me because I'm a coach.
Right.
You may not be able to text a parent.
Right.
And I'm not talking about my own kid.
Right.
But you can do it. Believe in yourself. Believe the process. Be real with yourself. Be honest, whether it's your kid or a coach or a parent. And the other thing I would say is, man, don't just put some expectations on your high school coach, but don't just rely on him. And if you're able to do it, do it. Make the calls. Call right into. This is what I'm going to leave you one quick thing that I did in the beginning. Okay, and my son. The reason I'm telling you this is the proof is in the pudding. My son was the only player ever out of the state of Michigan to have every Big Ten offer.
Wow.
Ever out of the state of Michigan to have every Big Ten offer. This is because of the work we did, not because of bragging rights or any of that, but it's because of the work we put in.
Right.
He also had 5 Ivy League. They don't necessarily call them offers, but he had 5 Ivy League schools recruiting him. It's because of grades.
Right.
So what I would do is I would go to a school's website. So let's pick a school, name it, Central Michigan, whatever. Cincinnati Bearcats. I would go to their website. Go to the staff directory, go to coaches in football, look who the guys are, who was the recruiting coordinator, who was the position coach that my son plays.
Right.
So my son is a DB, for example, a corner or safety. Who's the safeties coach?
Wow.
Then who's the defensive coordinator? So that's 3 people.
Wow. Yeah.
That's your recruiting coordinator, position coach, and defensive or offensive coordinator. I would construct a short email. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you coaches read all this stuff. So
Right.
read a book. I'll write a book. I would construct a short email. Hey coach, my name is, whatever, Cypress Harris. My son needs a safety. I wonder if you can look at his film. Just like that. I'm gonna try and set an expectation of what time you're gonna call him. I'm gonna try to call the office tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And they may not respond because you're a parent.
Right.
But do what you say you're gonna do. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, call there. The receptionist might answer the phone. When the receptionist answers the phone, tell that receptionist what you're doing. Hey, my name is Cypress Harris. My son is, little Cypress. I need you to set up a visit if possible. We would love to come and see your school. I set my film over. And tell that person, whoever answers the phone, that you wanted to send your film to the defensive coordinator or the position coach or the recruiting coordinator. And typically they'll help you. They'll say, here's your recruiting coordinator, send him the email. And typically they would, not a lot, not all the time, they don't want to give out too much information. And they'll say, hey, maybe they'll say, send it to me.
Right.
Send it to them. Because everybody's recruiting journey is different.
Wow. Well, folks, I tried to get as much information as I possibly could within that short window of time. But as you know, it's a lot of information to cover. As I said, this is it's endless, but it doesn't get any better than this. Thank you, Coach, for coming on, man, and sharing this information. And we really appreciate it, and maybe we can have you back at some time, and maybe we even can have your son back sometime when he's in town too.
We got Notre Dame was ranked number 4 in the college football, and we got Northwestern tomorrow, so I'll be heading out of here tonight to go to Chicago.
Wow.
Anytime, man, and it's a pleasure, man. I love sharing the information. Like I said, some people don't dispute it, some people gonna have their own way of doing things. I would say this, just leave this with you. Take all the information that you can get. Don't say this is right or this is wrong.
Right.
Take it all. It's like cooking gumbo. There's no right way to, put stuff in the pot. Take everything you learn from the people that say, oh, Coach Ken is wrong.
Right.
Oh, that's okay. Tell me the right way, sir.
Right.
Get that, put what you already know, your gut and your instincts, and make it happen for you, your family, and most importantly, that student athletes you have.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Coach. Yeah. Man.